either this has fixed it. We're looking at an MV-8000 from Roland, and a common problem, particularly with the older models, is the fact that some of the function keys, which are important to the operation with the LCD display, get damaged. The plastic gets broken. As you can see with this one, F1 to 3 absolutely perfect, F4 and 5 are completely and totally dead. If you go online and have a look at the fixes and repairs to this, you'll realise that you really do have to completely dismantle the machine to get at it and to fix those buttons, and that means taking the entire thing to pieces. However, I just had an interesting idea. The display itself is connected by a single cable. Of course, you have to be careful when disconnecting the cable, but there's 2 screws at the back, and the entire unit, once you've disconnected that cable there, comes away. What you're left with is a metal tray, and the metal tray is embedded inside the unit. On the corners of the metal tray, on each of the corners, there's just a little piece of metal that beds into the side, so this tray's in there and then it's locked in by these pieces. I thought, what would happen if I gently tease out these 4 metal pieces? Will I be able to lift the metal tray out? Because obviously if you lift the metal tray, you should be able to see inside, and therefore these particular buttons should be just underneath that lip. So that's what I'll have done, and I'm just about to turn the unit round to have a look at the back. What's interesting is that somebody has already been inside and had a go at fixing these buttons with some tape. So the button's collapsed completely inside, and he's currently falling over, which is a real pain in the backside. Of course, it means taking the entire unit out in order to do that. However, I think there's a simpler solution. If you look at the other buttons, they all kind of stay upright, and the main problem is if they're pushed forward they click, but when they push backwards like this, they actually just collapse out of the way. I'm going to take a doubled over piece of foam with a rounded front, and I'm going to slide it into these grooves, and what I'm hoping that'll do is to push the switches towards the front of the machine, and then as they get towards the front of the machine, it will then present a rubber pad for that edge that's obviously snapped away to be held, and with a bit of luck then I should be able to press the buttons. Okay, so with this bit of foam underneath each of the pads, we now have fully working buttons. Okay, I've trimmed the 2 pieces of rubber so they're not sticking out too far, and the buttons are now working. I'll put the faceplate back on and we'll see how it goes. Okay, the metal plate is back in place, and you just have to basically slide it from the back and slide it forward, pretty much as you did when you took it out. One of the things to be aware of is you really do need to pull these slightly away at the front and at the back before you lift it out, because otherwise they will bend and twist, which makes it a bit more difficult to get it back in again. And I'll just connect up the display and fire it up. Thankfully, due to ridges on the connector and a gap in the side, the unit can only actually go back one way, and also green is pin 1, so I'll just slot it in place. Okay, that's it down and in place, so let's let's put it back in. That's the display screwed down. I'll just turn it around and power it up. Good news, display's still working. Let's see if the buttons work. Okay, I'm currently set in VGA mode, so let me just move down. Select that. Okay, so it's showing LCD VGA, and of course you definitely need your F5 key. So change mode. There's the F5 button working. It's changed to piano roll. Piano roll is working. Command, no such command or region. Quick assign, assigned quickly. Okay, and system F3, VGA mode again F5, and that's it. So about 30 minutes work. Most of that was trying to figure out what to do, but a couple of soft pieces of rubber, basically the type of stuff that you get on the bottom of a mouse mat. So if you don't have any rubber, you could always peel an old mouse mat and double over the rubber. Just slot it with a bit of force into it and underneath the pad to actually give you good solid support. And what it does really is just to stop the button from falling off the minute dot of a switch that it sits on, because basically you've got a tiny switch on the printed circuit board, and then this bit of plastic here just has a spindle down the middle of it, and that spindle needs to line up, and once it slips off you, it ain't gonna work. So all I've done is used a little bit of rubber to actually go in there and push that back into place. So this has been Fixed It. This has been a quick fix for the MV-8000 of the 2 dead function keys. Hope you enjoy it. Have a look at my other fixes, and I'll be posting more as I go along. Cheers, bye.